Hello, beautiful people. I wanted to come here and just speak to you guys about something that has been on my mind to share for a while. Right now, I really just wanted to give you guys a little bit more insight as to me and my life. So, you already know that I'm on this Loc'd journey. But I'm sure you probably wonder, okay, what got her here? And I would say that there was a multitude of things, but the main thing that I would say just started off my whole difference in mindset, my whole outlook on life in general. Around this time last year, I was told by my doctor that I am allergic to these 3 foods, and they were milk, wheat, and eggs. And I was like, I kind of already figured out the wheat allergy on my own, just from previous weight gain and how I was feeling when I was eating it versus when I stopped eating it. So I figured that one out. But as far as the milk and the eggs, I was like devastated. I really was. And I was in a state of denial, honestly. I heard her, but I didn't really take it seriously. I didn't think it was something that could be like life-threatening or that dangerous. And it wasn't until I pretty much ignored what she told me and continued to eat those things and got really sick, and I had to go back to her because none of the medicine was working. And that's when I found out that I absolutely must stay away from those things, because I'll never know when my next reaction will be a life-threatening reaction. From what we have seen, my reactions were pretty much like on my skin, maybe making my stomach feel a certain way, affecting my scalp, affecting how I felt overall, low energy, drained, all of that stuff. So finally, I came to terms with this news, and I started to try to find things at the grocery store that I can have. And that's when it really clicked that a lot of foods contain these ingredients. And a lot of foods that we would never even think about contains milk. For instance, I found some tomato sauce. Good thing I read the ingredients list, because it definitely had milk listed as an active ingredient, and I was like devastated again, because I just felt like I hit a wall, and almost everything that I used to eat I could no longer eat, and I had to do so much work to find something that was okay for me to eat. And it really felt like a nightmare that I just couldn't wake up from. Honestly, that's how it felt initially. I felt like, why me? How does this happen? How is it that for 30 years I can go with eating these things with no problem, and then one day I just can't? It's called life. I started to realize that if I looked for items that said they were vegan, then that would cover me not having to worry about the eggs and the milk, because something that says that it's vegan basically means that there's nothing in that product that contains anything that derives from an animal. So veganism is not just all about like meat and fish. It has to do with like the eggs and the milk, cream, butter, anything that derives from an animal. Once you see that vegan sign or that V logo, then you pretty much know that you're good. And just to be on the safe side, I would just read the ingredients list just to make sure. So that would take care of those 2 allergies. And then on the other hand, I had to look for stuff that said gluten-free as well as vegan. That was a challenge. Huge challenge. I learned that a lot of products that were gluten-free contained eggs. And I'm like, but I can't eat eggs. So that means I can't eat this either. Okay. And then a lot of products that were vegan weren't gluten-free. So I couldn't have that either because I couldn't have wheat or barley or oats or rye unless they were stamped with the gluten-free stamp. So I found myself again like at a crossroad, because now I'm like, there's things out there that are made for people like me, kind of, but not quite. So that meant that I had to just do a lot of research and experiment to no end in my kitchen and try to create some of the things that I could not find in the stores. So in doing that, it kind of took my mind off of feeling down and feeling like something was just so wrong with me. It helped for me to learn how to make different things that I never thought to make before, and to really get creative, to really look at food in a different light. I actually became more and more self-conscious about what I actually ate. Like now it's one thing for me to be allergic to these things, but what else am I eating that's not making me feel my best? So with that question, I actually realized that, okay, this relationship that I had with like chicken and fish just wasn't what it used to be. I would look at my food and question certain things that didn't look right. Like I was just very nitpicky about it, and I couldn't even really enjoy the food unless I cooked it, because then I had the control to alter it and inspect it. I had stopped eating red meat and pork 2 years prior to last year, and then last year around this time in May, that's when I started to think about getting rid of chicken and fish. And you know, I battled with it because I was tired of chicken on one hand, but then I felt like, okay, well, if I don't eat it, what else am I gonna eat? Like my meal won't be complete without meat. That was my way of thinking. And it wasn't until I looked into this 21-day mind, body, and soul detox program. And when I looked into that program, they actually explained that during that 21-day period, you would eat like a vegan. And I was like, okay, so that means no meat, no fish, none of that stuff, no dairy. And I was like, you know what? I'm down. I think I can do this. I'm down for this challenge. This is something I've never done before. I've never deprived myself of any food. So it started with the allergy foods, and then now here I was getting ready to give up chicken, turkey, and fish. And I must say, before I even officially started that detox program, my mom actually started a week before me. And for her first 2 days, I just kept eating my chicken, and I would look over at her salad and just feel sorry for her. And then by her third day, I felt like, you know what? I'm gonna try this with you, so that you're not doing it alone. I think it would be easiest on the both of us if we both do this new thing together. So I started eating vegan for 4 days, and instantly I noticed the difference. I felt better. I didn't feel as tired. I didn't feel drained. I didn't feel bloated. I had no indigestion, no heartburn, no gas. Everything flowed the way that it should naturally. I wasn't expecting that. Aside from that, the foods I was eating were so tasty. I was like, wow, this is really good. Like, I feel like without the meat and the fish, or the poultry and the fish, I feel like it really allowed my taste buds to actually taste the seasonings and the other foods for what they were. I was missing that part before. So now here I am exposed to this new world of food, and it was just like, wow. So I went on to do that detox. My whole outlook on life was different. I developed a closer relationship with God. I developed a closer relationship with myself. I actually would try to handle things within me that I would not have handled 6 months prior, because I was just sweeping under the rug. Oh, I'll deal with it later. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, it's okay, when it's really not. So at the end of that program, I decided to continue eating that way, and I didn't look back. I really didn't miss meats like that. If anything, my thing was the cheese and the ice cream, like that kind of stuff. So I did my research, and I found ways to make my own cheeses, and I found some store-bought cheeses that were amazing, and they just made me feel like I wasn't missing anything. And yeah, I would just say that was such a life-changing decision that I made. And here I am now, a year later. I'm like, I really don't believe I would be where I am now if it wasn't for that one decision that I made, which was to join that program, because it's like everything just shifted into a direction that I find this hard to even explain. It's like everything just worked. Everything just started to click and actually connect. It didn't feel like I kept missing the mark like before. That's the best way I can describe it. I felt like I was constantly missing the mark, and now here I was, and everything just worked. They would just work themselves out, and I would listen to my intuition more and pray about things that I wasn't really sure about or that bothered me, or write in my journal if I just felt like I needed to kind of get something off my chest. And I realized there was so much that I didn't deal with emotionally from past relationships and previous hurt, friendship hurt, all kinds of things. Like, there were just a lot of things that I just wasn't dealing with. And myself joining that program and going through that and then continuing on, that really improved my life. And I'm so thankful and grateful for that I felt like I had to share that. I just had to tell the story. I've told the story to some people in person, some friends and family members, but I just felt like I needed to share this with you all, because you should have the same opportunity that I had to change my life for the better. And even if you don't decide to stay vegan, I still feel like this information will be helpful to you, as it was for me, and it was for my mom. I shared the information with her. It changed her life also. So that's really it. I just had to say that. Had to share it with you. Wasn't sure really like when to say anything or where to post it. I wasn't sure really how well it would be received. And I think because of my fear of being rejected and people not really wanting to hear what I had to say about this, that kind of stopped me from really sharing the story more openly. So it made me feel more comfortable to do it on a one-on-one basis, but I wouldn't post something for like hundreds and thousands to see. And now I'm at a point where I realize when I do that, if I keep great information like that to myself, I'm not only hurting me, I'm also hurting you. I'm stopping you from moving forward and elevating yourself. So I just started to really look at life and the things that I was doing and the products that I was using on my skin, on my hair, and that's when I just started looking at things differently and feeling differently. And I just felt like, you know what, I'm gonna make my own products from my skin, and I'm gonna use natural deodorant instead of the regular stuff. And you know, I'm gonna look into non-toxic nail polish and gluten-free and vegan makeup for those moments when I wanna you know, enhance my beauty. And as far as hair, I was ready for a change and ready to look at my hair differently. It wasn't about it being so uniform and perfect curls and perfect fluff. I just felt like, you know what, locking it would be the best thing. You just kind of let your hair just do its thing, and it's fine. That's the thing. Like, so many people do it and they're okay. And I used to think like, no, I'll be put in a box. I won't be able to do this or that. And it's not true. It's actually been better for me. I've been enjoying the process and learning my new hair and new ways to take care of it and style it and share that journey with you guys. I hope you all have enjoyed my story. I say all that to just say thank you for listening and watching and supporting. As usual, I absolutely greatly appreciate all of you and your support and the love that you share. And I will see you all next time. And I actually have a surprise coming up for you, so stay tuned. Bye. Mwah.